TPCSI fans, you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all your sports books and track all your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You could also sign up for sports books and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as it's the best account on the platform. Head to App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire and download the app.
2,000 years long, we will never settle. Hard days, no way, with a heavy metal. No time, no fail, won't stop here. Like a torch to a flame when it burns hot. We won't stop, come on, baby, higher. Like a torch to a flame when it burns hot. We won't stop.
Good morning, sports fans from all around the globe. I am the host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and it's that time of the week. Smiling ear to ear. I made it. I survived. As Gloria Gaynor once sang, I will survive. Cornflakes and crack with the legendary gentleman, friend, colleague, family member. I call him Bill. He's part of my family. Bill Krackomberger, live from Las Vegas to start the week off on Happy Sports Equinox Day. They all come together today. It's Game 3 World Series, Monday Night Football, NHL, NBA, throw in some MLS. And on November 1st, we're talking hoops, college hoops. So happy time of year, of course. Hope everyone survived. Shout out to our proud sponsor and partnerships. Of course, it's WagerWire. If you haven't downloaded the app, shame on you. Head on over to Google Play. Download the app. It's free. Viva Tequila Seltzer. CT Bets Team Family. Second to none. The East Coast is cuckoo for coconut. Go try one. And, of course, Atlanta Steak and Seafood. Terry Smith, who will be on with us at 11:05 today. Talking steaks, seafood, lobster tails, chops, you name it, we got it. Head on over to Facebook, follow Terry Smith, and then follow Atlanta Steaks and Seafood. And place an order today. You'll be grilling by Wednesday or Thursday. So without further ado, the one and only Mr. Bill Krackomberger himself.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, Billy. How are you?
Good. Middle of the season here. Probably be less and less plays as the seasons go on, especially college football. The college sports you try to get at early in the season. And but I know everyone loves NFL, especially after yesterday. I was happy that I actually had I was on the right side of the Washington game. Doesn't it seem like we're always on the wrong side of things when things work out, when crazy things happen, crazy plays happen? We're always on the wrong side of that. And you always say to yourself, oh, the bet you forgot to click the button on, oh my God, I just got it in a second late. They always seem to win. That's just based on our brains, the way we're wired. That's supposed to work out 50-50. But if we're winning bettors, chances are, yeah, sure, we have that little 5% of the time that of an edge on games, or 3 to 4 or 5%, whatever it may be. That's even high. But what happens is we are going to win more than we lose, so it's probably going to happen to you more when you forget to put a bet in, or you forget to click a bet, or miss it by a second. But those particular bad beats in the games like that yesterday, if you had Chicago, I don't know. Anyone that bet Chicago looks at it and says, "Oh, we should have won. That's ridiculous that we lost." Anyone that bets Washington says, What do you mean? We were dominant the whole game. Unlucky at the end a little bit, and then finally, with no time on the clock, we got really lucky. So that's what I said before. I know I'm a broken record when I say that our eyes play tricks on us week to week. A team is never as good as they look on the TV that day, and a team is never as bad as they look on the TV that day. But that's how the mind works. We formulate an opinion about next week just based on what we've seen here, not what has previously happened to them, not the situation at hand. It's a real strange thing that happens, especially in the NFL, because let's face it, every single network last night when the games were over, that's all we were talking about. This morning, you turn on any single sports network, that's all they're talking about. NFL. NFL dominates the media, so therefore it dominates our mindset. And we say, oh, we can't wait to get in there because I watched this past weekend and I know what's going to happen next weekend. It's crazy.
Well, Billy, I haven't talked to you obviously since last Monday. So let's segue right there. Kirk Gibson, Freddie Freeman on Friday. Okay. And then, of course,
unbelievable.
How about this? Doug Flutie against Miami. We know about a few of the Aaron Rodgers Hail Marys, and then yesterday's Hail Mary on Jaden Daniels. You remember where you were when Kirk Gibson hit that homer. I remember where I was when Doug Flutie threw up that Hail Mary against Miami. I don't know what I had for breakfast this morning, Bill, but we remember these things.
I have to tell you, you brought up the Gibson thing. I personally grew up with baseball and boxing. Baseball was in my heart, but now my only allegiance is my bankroll. I couldn't give two craps about the players, the teams. I don't care where they finish. After the game's over, I don't care what they do off the field. I don't want them to hurt anybody, but I just don't care. They don't care about you. Why do you care about them? It's the old adage. But, however, baseball's my heart. I got to watch that game Friday. It's the first game of the year I watched beginning to end. So it was really a build-up for me at the end there. Watching, I had no sweat in the game. I didn't have the Dodgers or the Yankees, but it was really exciting just being a fan of a game, watching something like that, bases loaded. I put a tweet up that got around 50,000 views. It was just because the announcer said it right. Sometimes these announcers are knuckleheads, but this particular guy said exactly what happened perfectly. And I just said, you know what? That's a great thing that he said. The time at bat that every kid that plays baseball dreams of one day having. Yeah, and I put that tweet out there, like I said, and then it said 2 outs, bottom, extra innings. Was it the 10th inning? I think it was the 10th inning. 2 outs, just bases loaded, losing by 1. It was just a dream. It was an absolute dream for them to watch, and I enjoyed it. And it brought back memories of Kirk Gibson, which was happened exactly like almost the same time, like 6 minutes apart or something, the same exact day, however many years ago that was. And Lasorda was running out to the baseline to meet him out there, and the guy could hardly even walk, could hardly take a swing, and that was a miracle. And that one will always stand out. Certain things stand out for me as a kid. There was a home run that Bucky Dent hit in the playoffs, little skinny Bucky Dent. Sorry about that, Jeff. Beating your Red Sox. Yeah, they call him Bucky effing Dent. That's his name everywhere. But there's certain home runs. Lenny Dykstra had a home run in the Mets, 86. So their championship quest there in the playoffs. I remember that. There's certain home runs that you remember. 77 when Reggie hit those home runs. Reggie Jackson. I was only a little 9-year-old kid or 8-year-old kid, but with my dad, I remember living where we did. Everyone in the family was all Yankee fans, so it was fun to grow up with that whole team. To meet these guys now too, it's funny. I met Willie Randolph recently. He was so nice, and there's so many memories with the great Willie Randolph with that that whole team. Reggie's team and. Nettles, Chris Chambliss, Ron Guidry. I can go on and on. The outfielders and to get to meet one of your heroes. in the last few years, I got to meet Doc Gooden. Had a great conversation with Dwight Gooden. He was, a hero as a kid on the field of baseball. Same thing with Willie Randolph and that whole team. That whole team, I know the exact whole team. The Thurm. When Thurman died, was like, for the older generation, they remember where they were when Kennedy died. I remember where I was when Thurman died. When Thurman got into the plane crash. Elvis. I remember when Elvis died. Like, that was big. My dad was a big Elvis fan. So anyway, going back to yesterday, though. Yeah, so we see that game between Washington and Chicago, and I had Washington in that game multiple times. Very rare what I did, actually. I took +3 here at the South Point in Vegas, but then I also took +1.5 and +2. Now Saturday night comes around, South Point goes to 3 again, and the news comes out. Adam Schefter tweeted out that, and instantly I went right to South Point again and took the +3. So they had +3 again. Closed actually, -1. So that was a big line move. And I appreciate sportsbooks like the South Point letting me bet. I'll be real blunt. I bet $5,000 on it, letting me bet thousands of dollars on a game based on information that I got. That basically, if they got it first, they get to move the line. But I got the information seconds first by having that notification on my phone. Where other sports books like where did I get walked out of? Palace Station. Same situation. A quarterback was out, and I got the information, went to the counter and bet it for the same bet that I made 2 other bets during the day there. They came out to me and said, "Hey, we either give you an option. We need your ticket, or you're not going to be able to bet here no more." That was the option given, just because I got the information before that. So that's the way some sports books treat you. They throw you out, they ban you, they limit you because you get the information before them. If that's the case, then I'm sharpening up your line. I'm the one that you shouldn't pay anyone more than $15 an hour in your sports book, because all they're doing is watching a screen, an odds screen with the odds, the line off of air, not off of action, without taking a bet. So unfortunately, that's the ways a lot of these sports books work. But I give you the good versus the bad. Jimmy Vaccaro, Chris Andrews down there, they take bets. They let me beat them to a line there, like I said, and there's no one crying about it. This time you got me. Next time I'll get you, whatever it may be. And I've beaten the South Point out of a lot of money this football season. So I really appreciate them. Just spontaneous. I wasn't thinking about talking about them, but that's one of the sports books. South Point last year was Westgate. I destroyed Westgate. Took out a couple big checks out of Westgate throughout the year. It's cat and mouse. So if you let me bet, in the end, I'm going to beat you. It may not be. I don't win every week. I don't even win every month, though. I've had some really good streaks of 10, 11 months in a row. But I've never had a losing quarter. Obviously, that means I never had a losing year. I'm going to win if you let me bet.
And you talk about the swings, the ebb and flows, and getting back to Freddie Freeman, we had the Dodger team total over, and we had over 8.5. We were able to get 8.5 early in the morning. And again, that one swing, if it's a base hit, if it's a capture, we don't get the team total, never mind the over in the game. And you talk about, here's Caleb Williams all happy because they did not play well for 3 quarters, but he had a good 4th quarter, and they took the lead with 23 seconds. And I actually said, because Washington had one more timeout, I was saying to myself, they probably, instead of first down throwing, they probably should have ran the ball. Even if they get stopped, Washington would have had to use that last timeout. But they, again, it was a fluke. Whether it was Flutie, whether it was Jaden Daniels, never mind the defender mocking the crowd and the fans. And next thing you know, these wide receivers are running down the field, and he's like, "Oh shit, the play's going on, Billy."
Yeah, I seen that. They showed a photo of that. I think it was number 29. I don't know who the player was, the defensive player. The people in the stands were saying, "Hey, there's a game going on behind you," And he's the one that wound up tipping the ball. He's the one that wound up tipping the ball to the Washington guy. That was exciting watching that. It really was, not just because I had a big swing on the game. I also gave it out to my clients too. So that was they won NFL side, so I gave them that one. Yeah, no, it's exciting. It's exciting to watch, to be a fan, I guess, to watch that. And I have not ESPN. It's called Red Zone. I don't know who puts it out. Red Zone. That's all I buy. I don't even buy the YouTube, all the games. Red Zone's enough for me. I have two games on the regular TV. Usually, there's always one. Sometimes, a lot of times, there's two, and the Red Zone. And I do a 3-hour Fox radio show in the morning, leading up to the game time. So after my show's over, 3 hours on air, I'm kind of a little spent. I go out and get breakfast. I don't even watch the early games. I'll come back for second half. Yeah, it's a business to me. I'm like I said earlier, I'm not a fan of any team. My allegiance is my bankroll and family, of course, but that's it. There's no. I'm not cheering, yelling. I have never ever once, Jeff, never once taken anything and threw it at a screen. I don't get emotional. There's no screaming and yelling. Oh my God, yeah. You go into a sports book now during the Equinox like today and see what goes on. The NBA first basket 2-0. Yeah, it's 2-0. I mean, people are they're excited to be in Vegas. Excuse me, maybe drinking a little bit and having some fun. I get that too, but it's hard for someone like myself to go into a sports book and have everyone screaming and yelling around you. And not that I'm against them rooting against me. I'm just against all the noise. I like the comfort and I have a man cave here, so I like that I have my screens, my peace, my quiet, and a lot of times I'll even put the game on in the background and have the sound off, and I'll have the sound off, and I'll have something else on my iPad or something, or yeah. So, but no, season's going good. I'm really happy. Our NFL props are great. Our season's good. We're gonna win. If you let me bet, I'm gonna win. Unfortunately, more and more sports books are not letting me and guys like me. I'm not saying I'm the only one, but it's a fraction of 1% that actually win long term. It's funny if when asked what percentage do I think wins, I think that probably, you know, like I said, let's say 1/10 of 1% win, and people will say, "Well, there's more professional gamblers out." Yeah, professional gamblers, they think they win. A lot of them think they win, but they don't actually win. So it's just like blackjack card counting. Honestly, if they had a game where they said, "Okay, Bill, you're in charge for the week, the month, the year," let them play, because there's always little moving parts that make it so hard to beat card counting, whether it's the skill sets of bankroll management or the number one of knowing how to take a loss. So the count is real high when you're supposed to play, and then you lose that hand and the count goes down. You're supposed to bet less, but yet you're betting more because you can't control yourself. So it's the same thing in all forms of professional gambling. But when it comes to blackjack and stuff, I always said I'd let counters play. If they were that good, maybe I'd cut the deck or back them off if I was on that side of the counter. But they make so much money in these casinos, they shouldn't even worry about that.
Billy, you talked about the halfway point in the NFL. We're at that point of the year where a lot of, the public had a rough 4 or 5 weeks. They've done very well the last 2 or 3 weeks, but that doesn't mean once you do well, as you just clearly stated, and I truly believe in this, we're creatures of habit. So if you're accustomed to losing, well, at the end of the week, it's just entertainment, Bill. So what's a couple $100, to the man every week? Meanwhile, his two his sons and daughters. You've just financed, their way through the Ivy League. He's got the best house in the block. He's got the beautiful cars, of course. Now you have a couple weeks, and if you were $100 better, and you've had a couple good weeks, now you become $150 better. And oh, by the way, I really don't like college football, but now I'm gonna bet more college football. The NBA and NHL's here. Oh, and by the way, starting next week, the NCAA basketball starts. So that true Equinox. And I love your tone because I'm the same way. When I was a kid and I knew everything when I knew nothing, and I was running to the north end, I was running to Federal Hill, and if I had a real bad week, I had to jump in my car and get up to New York City because I had to make sure I had enough money to pay the two losing books so I could try to stay alive for another week. That emotion is gone. If we can stay even keel, stay off that roller coaster, as you said, the games are going on and you're enjoying a nice bagel and a nice omelet. It's just a business. That's all it is. I always say every day I leave my heart and the ego at the door. If I can do that and read the market the way I'm supposed to, everything's going to be all right once the dust settles, Billy.
Yeah, you said it right, and your upbringing sounds similar to mine. You're going to Federal Hill. You're going to these places where you're trying to make sure that the guys are paid because you want to be in business next week. When we grew up, let's face it, we grew up with the pool hall, the local bar, the corner candy store. They're the guys that were booking the hot dog cart at the hot dog cart. These are the guys that were booking the games. There was no legal companies out in New Jersey and up there in Massachusetts at the time. So that just that brings almost bad memories for me too. But thank God for them, because I was a loser, Jeff. I wasn't a winning player. Who was a winner? I wasn't a winning player. I've been betting sports since I was a young teen. I'm going to say, 13. I'm betting sports. I was playing those parlay cards since I'm 9 and 10 years old. But so we grew up gambling. We're gamblers in our area, in our house. But yeah, I was playing with bookmakers. I had no clue what I was doing. They, just betting, chasing. Back then they used to do times in New York anyway. So you bet 10 times. 10 times is $50. Each time is a $5 bill. So, it starts out with 10 timers, 20 timers, you're up to 50 and 100 timers. And, trying to chase. And what happens in the end? You're paying 11 to 10. So you're gonna lose, especially with chasing. It just seems like you're always on the bad side of when you're chasing. So yeah, no, I get that. I get that. It was crazy times back then. Thank God. I look at it so different now. Like you said, you leave your heart and emotion at the door. I look at it so different now. It's like when I walk in a casino. When I walk in a casino, I say to myself, you know, what do I have an advantage on? What do I feel I have an advantage on? I don't look to say, oh, I like the color of the screen. Oh, I used to like Green Acres. I used to like, Harry the Martian or Goodfellas, and that these machines are now they have machines, Godfather machines. Oh, I like that. So let me play that machine. Or, oh, my numbers just came out on the board that's on roulette. They post the previous numbers now. Like that means anything, you know. But to people it does. Ooh, my numbers are hot. Yeah, okay. That's why they're there. Trust me, if anything gave you an edge or anything gave a pattern that was, actually meant something, they wouldn't have it there for you. It's that simple. So it's life now looking through blinders, different ways, and it's probably why most casinos, sports books, don't care for someone like me. But they should. They should use my information because let me just be blunt. I said it before. If they have enough dummies that are working in the sports book that don't know anything where to find injuries, where to find statistical models and things and back tested data, or just simply looking at, the beat reporters, if they don't have, someone doing that stuff, well, I'm doing it. So basically I'm doing it for you if I'm betting you. But you guys want to take bets without taking any of those big sharp bets or anything. You just want every dummy to come up and you want to treat them like a sucker too. these guys are idiots. They're betting their home team. They're betting the Yankees. They're betting the Dodgers. Yeah, they're all. You treat everyone like a sucker. So when someone comes in the door that knows a little bit, sometimes you're overly fearful. We only have. Listen, I'm going to lose 55. I'm sorry. I'm going to lose 45 out of 100 bets a year. I'm only going to win 55. So I'm going to lose 45 bets, 44 bets, 43 bets. We don't have some secret amazing Kreskin formula where we press a button and the Carmack to your head, and I know the winner of every game. But a lot of times it's jealousy too. Some of the people in risk, they wish they can do that. Well, good. Have the heart and have the balls to try it. That's what I want to tell them guys. They say, "Oh, I'm not letting Krackomberger bet here. He's getting denied or shut out." That's fine. I'll just come in under somebody else's name, and you won't know it's Krackomberger. No big deal.
Got about 5 minutes left. We know you got a busy week ahead of you. I'm gonna change it up this week. We're gonna ask you this question, Billy. We know you go to Vegas. We know you go to gamble. You talk about the sports books. You talk about the race book. You talk about the slot machines. We've even talked about the bingo parlors. Give us a couple ideas and thoughts for a family or whatever, or what Bill Krackomberger does in Las Vegas that doesn't have to be gambling.
If you're here with your buddies, I'll give you a couple different scenarios. So if you're here with your buddies, you should definitely check out the history of the town and the Mob Museum. It's unbelievable. Now, listen, when I first knew the Mob Museum was coming, I thought it was a gimmick. I said, they're just going to try to cash grab. And no, it's really unbelievable. And they have like the wall that the St. Valentine's Massacre, when they put the guys against them in Bugs Moran's guys in Chicago, they have that wall there with the concrete wall where the guys were shot with machine guns. The holes are in the wall. Pretty cool. They have that. I imagine that's what you say pretty cool about. But it's cool that they got the wall. I think they have Anastasia's barbershop chair where he was killed in the Park Sheridan. I think they have the chair that he was sitting in when he got killed. But the history of the town is there too, Jeff. So there's a lot of history of Las Vegas, the mob influence that it was. That the town doesn't ever want to talk about that or admit that. Ooh, yeah. Well, that's the reason why they were here. So love that. I think it's a great self-guided tour. You put the little thing in your ear. It's just unbelievable. Now, if you're coming there with family, I'll tell you right now, downtown, while you're down there, if you're going to the Mob Museum or not, still the downtown Fremont Street experience, great place for families. The zip line going downtown, and just downtown, just walk. I shouldn't say for families. You know what? There's some seedy parts to downtown. I'm just saying the kids would like. There's an arcade down there. There's some things, but you always have to have your head on a swivel in this town. Remember that. But that's a cool thing downtown there. And here's a great place to go to, the Pinball Hall of Fame across from like Caddy Corner to Mandalay Bay. I love that. Now I grew up on the Jersey Shore Boardwalk. I worked in an arcade as a kid. I love how they have the games from back in the 80s when I grew up, 80s. And they'll have games from the 80s and 90s, the pinball games. Then they'll have the ones before that, the Pac-Mans, the Froggers, the Asteroids. I love those games. Now they'll have them from when your parents used to go to arcades. They'll have the old games with the old wooden bumpers and flippers, and it's just literally they have a game from like 1929 in there. So this game, the old games in there. That's why it's called the Hall of Fame. It's a great time for the family, and you know what it costs? A handful of quarters, nothing. It costs you, if you spend $20 in there for your whole family, it's a lot. It's a great place. I support them. They're nonprofit. Every time I go in there, I buy a couple T-shirts. The guy that runs the place he fixes all the old machines. He restores them. I think that's three good things for people to do here in Vegas.
Billy, we can't thank you enough, as always, to start our week and your week right here at the ECSI Network here. The scroller had been going the whole time. Everyone knows on Twitter where to find you, at Bill KRACKman. But what we always do is end the show. Tell them where they can find you throughout the week, whether it's podcasts, whether it's with Gil Alexander on VSiN, and, of course, Fox Sports Radio.
Yeah, VSiN on Thursdays with Gil Alexander. I'm not going to do it this week. And a shout out to Gil. He lost his mom, so he's back east right now. Shout out to my buddy, and my condolences there. But however, I do also do my Fox show on the weekends, Fox Sports Radio nationwide, over 500 networks, and I do podcasts and shows throughout the week. I do my own podcast. You can just find that on YouTube at Crack Wins with a K, and you can find me at Crack Wins also, the Crack Wins app in the Apple Store.
Billy, always a pleasure. Have a blessed day, a better week. Enjoy the sports equinox, and we'll catch up with you next Monday.
Thank you, Jeff.
Take care. The one and only Bill Krackomberger. Please go follow him. He's the best in the business. Again, nothing scripted here. We start talking. We're in the hockey arena 1 second, and next thing you know, we're talking pinball, arcade, wax machines. You name it, we got it. A couple quick commercials, and then on deck, Terry Smith, who's going to be smiling ear to ear. Big win for them Falcons. We'll be right back. TPCSI fans, you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all your sports books and track all your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You could also sign up for sports books and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as it's the best account on the platform. Head to App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire and download the app.
Jared, hey, we're gonna need you to tone it down with the Summer Friday thing, okay?
What are you talking about?
Well, for one, it's not summer anymore.
Oh, really?
Coconut. Also, who is this?
I'm the caddy.
Oh, he's my intern.
Sorry, intern. I'm his intern.
Yeah, he's doing a great job.
No golfing in the office, okay? Summer Fridays are over. You can keep the Hawaiian shirt, but the rest of this stuff, all right? Are you grilling?
Oh, yeah. Did you want a burger or a hot dog?
No, grilling in the office.
That's a good point. We should take this outside.
No, that don't. You put that right back down.
Yo, it's all in the hips.
Oh, dude, come on, we gotta go. Let's go.
Oh, Noah, spot on. Shout out to CT Bets, Viva Tequila Seltzer. I talked to, we text over the weekend, and he sent that out to me, and here is Noah right here. Bing, bing, boom. Right, from summer to fall, but who the hell cares? You know, we still got to grill, we still got to golf, and of course, we still got to have our Viva Tequila Seltzer. So, we talk about in our lanes the perfect storm, and I think Terry Smith here, who's coming on in a second, will agree with me. You know, the Bucks lose Mike Evans, they lose Godwin for the year. In come the Falcons, and it was a great game back and forth. Again, Falcons flex their muscles, Falcons get the win. So let's hear from him. CEO, founder, of course, of Atlanta Steak and Seafood, the one and only Mr. Terry Smith. Morning, Terry.
Good morning, Mr. Dawson. How are we, sir?
I'm doing well. I think you're going to be doing well, too. There you go. How about the Birdie Birds?
Birds played well yesterday. I actually had a playoff tennis match and missed most of the game, but had to get some exercise in. So, yeah, they played well. Just really concerned about the well, let's just say the good things first. Cousins was amazing yesterday. We got time to throw. You know, just okay, they're every good quarterback. You get time to throw. You got some weapons like we do. We're gonna be successful. And he was hot. He was great. I watched a lot of the replays last night on local channels. I guess the big negative is we just can't get to the quarterback. I'm going to pull up Claude Humphrey back from the 70s. We need to call some old dudes, come back, get the ball clawed. So, still got a lot of things to work on. But hey, we're 5-3. We've beat everybody in the division. So far, 4-0 in division. Of course, 2-0 against Tampa Bay, so that gives any kind of tiebreaker with them. But give it to Tampa too, man. Without their two top receivers, Mayfield played amazing, and I'd actually switched him in my put him on my fantasy team yesterday with Otten. So they came through for me pretty well. So it was all good.
It's kind of, you talked about the pass rush. You added Matthew Judon from the Patriots. We've talked at length about that. We said there was one or two great ones in the draft, and said you guys decided to take Michael Penix Jr. from Washington, the quarterback, which of course Mr. Cousins was like, whoa, what are you guys doing here? Which again, you could have got an edge rusher there. There were some names out there before the deadline. I think the deadline's next Tuesday or next Monday. I think it is Tuesday, actually, election day on the 5th. Max Crosby, Myles Garrett. Now Jameis had something to say about the Browns dying there. What a win by the Browns, upsetting the Ravens there.
Really?
Do you think Atlanta will be active and actively pursuing another edge rusher?
We better. So we need to do something. I mean, we can't. We just can't get to the quarterback. It's been a problem for ours for decades now. I guess the year we played the Patriots Super Bowl, we had some good pressure on the quarterback until the second half there. But it's just a problem we've had, and we never have really addressed it. So it's a concern here.
Well, I mean, you got the Panthers out of the way, meaning they're not going to be a threat here. You got the Saints, who have quarterback issues, as you know. It sounds like Carr might be getting closer. Obviously, the Rattler project, just not ready yet. I mean, let's be real. Their O-line is struggling. They started out, everyone, it seems like light years ago, they were 2-0 and the talk of the NFL. And I think they've now lost 5 or 6 in a row now there as well. But again, the Bucks team, which now you owe the tiebreaker there, 2-0 there. Moving forward, we're at that halfway point here. What's Terry Smith's thoughts moving forward, and where you sit in the division?
We should win the division. If we don't win the division, something's really, really wrong. You look back at the Saints' first couple of victories. That victory against Cowboys seems a lot less shiny now. As we see what America's team is doing. But I wouldn't count them out either. But whoever's playing best that last 4 or 5 weeks of the season is going to get in there and do some damage. I think we have a long way to go. We're still running the ball well. We give Cousins time; he's going to be effective. We just go out and handle our business, worry about what we do, and we should be there right at the end. But just need some defensive help.
Well, you've been waiting for the emergence. You have generational talent, supposedly, of course, with Bijan Robinson, and we've been waiting, excuse me, for Kyle Pitts. And let's be realistic here, okay? I'll give you the first touchdown. They easily could have taken that second touchdown off the board. I think that was because they called it a touchdown on the field. I think that was the reason. I mean, it was within a whisker either which way. Again, the knucklehead mentality of a lot of today's athletes, rather dance before you cross the end line. You got plenty of time to dance once you really officially cross the end line.
I don't get it. I mean, you can see the college guys doing it. They hold the ball, cross the ball up, stick it under your arm, and let's finish the play. I had just finished playing, was in the radio in the car, and even the Falcons announcers were going, I think that thing came out a little early. So usually those things go against the Falcons. So this may be a different year if we're going to get some calls that go our way. If it would have been called a fumble, I think they would have overturned that as well. So a little bit of fortune there. It takes a little fortune to win in the NFL, as we all know. And I'm excited where we are. We're 5-3. It hadn't been 5-3 in a minute. So 8 games to go. 9 games to go. How many? See, how many games do they play now?
17.
17. So sort of lost track there for a minute. Some senior issues, but no, we're all good. But happy where we are.
We talked to you last Tuesday, and I brought up the World Series. Obviously, your Braves bowed out due to injury. They'll be back, we know, next year, of course. And you brought up a name near and dear to your heart and all Atlanta Braves fans. That was Freddie Freeman. Talk to us about Friday night. Were you watching live?
I did watch Freddie. You couldn't help to, love what he did, even as he's not with us anymore. But he's the man. He hadn't really played for 30 days on a healthy ankle, and I think the pitcher for the Yankees was about the same spot too. But he hits that inside pitch unlike I've ever seen anybody hit it. But I jumped up with him, so it was awesome. You knew it was gone when he hit it. Everybody is still missing him, and why we let him go? Why let him go? But at least he went home. It's good for him. I thought it was awesome when he went to his dad and gave his dad credit. That just tells you what kind of guy he is. So throwing out ball in the backyard when you're 5, 6, 7 years old, hitting with your dad. I did that as well. I think all us guys did. Fortunate to have a good father in our lives, and just shout out to him. That was amazing.
They had brought up the comparison of Kirk Gibson, and I was having flashbacks there. And you talk about your backyard. We had a wiffle ball field. We actually had the plastic helmets as well. And as Freddie said, his dad's out there when he was 5, 6, 7 throwing, and he pointed right at him. And I had almost like a tear in my eye because those are the moments we're talking about. Here's a grown adult at the middle to end of it, not his end of his career, but he's in the twilights of his career, and we all dream of that moment. And the first thing he thought about was his father, Terry.
Yep. My dad coached me. I think he'd still be coaching me if he could. He's 88 years old. So you just couldn't draw up a better script for Friday night. And glad Freddie was able to do that for us Braves fans here as well, as far as his Dodger fans as well.
Well, we can't have a show without talking. Give us the temperature in the room about the Georgia Bulldogs. Another week in the SEC. Statement by Alabama. The Missouri quarterback wasn't 100% there. A&M, tough first half, and boy, did they take care of business. They're really cooking with Crisco. LSU has a big matchup not this weekend, next weekend, obviously against Alabama. Now, 2 teams with 2 losses. The loser of that will be outside. They'll be out. Thoughts on your Bulldogs this week? Your thoughts on the SEC as we're really starting to hit the 3-quarter pole?
Dogs should be ready to play. Had a week off to heal up a little bit. You can't throw Florida under the bus. It's Georgia, Florida. Biggest world's biggest cocktail party. So it's we're all looking forward to that. Georgia plays like they can, and if they did what they did against Texas to come out like that, I believe we'll be victorious. I'm really amazed at A&M. They're the real deal, I believe. I watched that second half. I'm originally from Louisiana, so I have a little partiality there to LSU, but that was a beatdown in the second half. That team is amazing. They're fast on defense. They get to the quarterback, and when they put in the young man in the second half, that they just changed the whole ball game. I mean, 4 straight TDs, and in a minute. I mean, it didn't take them 2 minutes to get down the field. So LSU was not prepared for that. I don't know if the rest of the SEC is going to be prepared for that. But they're at South Carolina this weekend too. So that's look out for a letdown there. Alabama woke up. I think Tennessee had a week off as well. So, you're going to have some great teams with 3 losses that are going to be sitting on the sidelines going to a minor ball. And it's going to be interesting to see what's going to transpire over the next, 5 or 6 weeks.
Well, Ohio State with one loss against Oregon now travels to Penn State this week. 3.5 point favorites at Penn State, maybe 4 in some shops. If the Nittany Lions can provide an upset there at home where they're undefeated right now, Ohio State will be sitting with LSU and they'll be sitting with Alabama and a bunch of other teams with 2 losses.
Yep. And their strength of schedule is not that tough either. You know, we don't like Ohio State out here in Georgia. All of my good friends are Buckeyes, so you know we're always going back and forth. But Penn State seems like they can never beat them. Maybe that can change this weekend. That'll be the biggest game I think on the board. You know, it's going to be interesting. I love James Franklin, what he did at Vanderbilt, now what he's doing up there at Penn State. Really good coach. I'm going to be pulling for Penn State. You know, I'd like them to win this week, but they just have seen they never can, you know, cross that other little line of getting to that next tier where everybody else is. So looking forward to see what happens there. You know, Ohio State got a little lucky this weekend.
No, they did. And again,
Yes.
we're at that 3/4 pole, so every win now is magnified as well as
Huge.
every loss here. Noah, we're going to go to a quick steak and seafood commercial. When we come back, Terry's going to tell everyone watching and listening, standing room only, of course, what he has to offer at Atlanta Steak and Seafood this week. The stage is yours, Terry.
Thank you, sir. This week we're having a 10% off all our products here at Atlanta Steaks and Seafood. You can check out our website at I can't even talk today, atlantasteaksandseafood.com. In your checkout code, put steaks in the number 10, checkout. All our products are 10% off. We get it to you in 1 or 2 days here from Atlanta. And I want to sort of mention a product that nobody thinks about this time of year are turkey ribs, just not turkey. Turkeys don't have ribs, but you make a cut that's off the scapula bone, and it's amazing. It comes fully cooked, and you thaw it out, marinate it in your favorite barbecue sauce, throw it on the grill about 2 or 3 minutes aside, heat it up, and you would not believe how good a turkey rib is. It's great for tailgates, you know, backyard cookouts, something quick. You don't have to smoke them 6, 7, 8 hours, you know, like you do baby back ribs or any other ribs. And it's just a quick, convenient, great product. I have some people even use them for Christmas that don't know how to cook a turkey. So, so it's you can look it up under turkey ribs on our website, and they come in packs of. Usually I sell them in 3 packs. There's six pieces in a pack. You can get 12, 18, 36. But for a great tailgate product that tastes amazing and doesn't take long to cook, check out our turkey ribs. And again, steaks 10 in the checkout code when you check out with us.
Terry, awesome as always, whether it's Monday at 11:05 or Tuesdays at 10:35. Always a pleasure. Blessed to have you on every week talking Atlanta sports and, of course, Atlanta steaks and seafood. Terry, have a blessed day, a better week. Enjoy the sports Equinox, and we will catch up later this week and early next week.
Thank you, sir. Y'all have a blessed week. Thank you.
Thank you. The one and only Terry Smith. Go follow him at Atlanta Steak and Seafood on Twitter. Jump on over to Facebook, follow Terry Smith there, and then while you're there, head on over to Atlanta Steaks and Seafood website. As he said, place an order, use steaks 10, get 10% off your whole order there. Order today, you'll be grilling by Wednesday or Thursday at the latest, straight from Atlanta. The best in the business, the customer service even better. One last commercial, Noah, and we'll wrap it up here at the ECSI Network. ECSI fans, you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all your sports books and track all your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You could also sign up for sports books and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as it's the best account on the platform. Head to App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire and download the app. What a way to start the week, as always. Bill Krackomberger to start our week talking arcades, talking wax museums, talking what to do while you're in Vegas and you don't have to gamble. And of course, we recapped all the sporting events. We talked about the Hail Marys. We talked about Kirk Gibson and, of course, Freddie Freeman. And where were you when Doug Flutie threw the Hail Mary against the U in Miami? And we wrap up the show, of course, with Terry Smith. Big win for the Falcons there. A little Freddie Freeman. A tear of joy on Friday with that walk-off homer there, of course. And the Georgia Bulldogs get ready for the largest cocktail party in America when they play the Florida Gators. Today, 5 p.m., it looks like myself and Riley Magnuson will get you caught up in the closing bell, get you ready for the sports equinox. Again, World Series Game 3, NFL, Steelers host the Giants, NHL, NBA, and throw in some MLS. And we'll get ready for college hoops starting on Friday. Shout out to Noah Frank, the best in the business. So glad to have you back, Noah. Jesus, you make it easy. Everyone else, have a blessed morning. See you at 5 o'clock at the closing bell. Take care.